Hello, family. How's everyone doing today? And welcome again to Talking After Dark. And let's title this video Everyday Love. The reason why I suggested that we call this Everyday Love is because we're always asking a question about, are there good men out there? Are there good women out there? Why am I single? Or why do I keep going through this time after time again? It occurred to me that in asking that question about why some of our relationships don't work and why we find ourselves in the same situation that we previously were prior to dating, single, one of the things that we have to be mindful of is that everyday love is every day. And everyday love is like life and living, is that every day that we wake up, we're different. Every night that we go to bed, we're different. As we go throughout the courses of our days, we have experiences and we run across things that occur or happen in our lives that changes the perspective of where we are and what we're dealing with and how we are going to get through what we're dealing with. So loving someone and meeting them at their need means just that, meeting them at their need. Well, the need today is not the need tomorrow. Today is an awesome, beautiful, wonderful day, and I'm pretty much running on, I'm full of energy, I'm full of vigor, full of life because today has been a really good day. But what about that day when it's a bad day, when the day is not so good? I don't need you to love me the same way. I need you to love me today where I am, because what I need from you today is emotional. What I need from you tomorrow is spiritual. What I need from you the next day is a little bit of both. What I need from you the next day is support. What I need from you the next day is encouragement. So every day my plate is full. It's full of something, but it's missing something else. And if it's full already, then obviously, then that portion of my need has already been fulfilled. So what I need from my significant other is to fill me up with what's missing off the plate. I know that seems like a lot, but it's really not. Because when you love someone like that, you want to be there for them every day and in every way. And sometimes that means, babe, how are you today? What can I do for you today? How was your day? How are things going? Did anything happen today? And are you okay? And if they tell you that they're okay, you should know your significant other. If things are really not okay, you'll know by the text and the tone and the energy that they dispense that that's true or not. And you have to listen for those key words and those key signs and those lacks of or a burst of energies that would allow you to read into what the answer was or is. I think that if we would focus just for a moment, not on ourselves, but on the person that we're connected to, so that we can support them in whatever way they need at that moment. Because, like I said, every day is a different day, and everybody needs something different when they need it. So we just have to make sure that we are connected in such a way that our love languages really speaks volumes and it put us in such a place with each other that we feel each other's energy. We know when our significant other is depleted. We know when they're full and satisfied. We know what they might need, and we try to touch them. We try to feel them and fill them up where the void is. Sometimes you have to ask, but sometimes asking is just not the answer. It's just noticing and observing what the energy is. And based upon that and your knowledge of the person that you're with, it will tell you what you need to do. And boy, when two people become that connected that they feed off each other, what a beautiful thing it is. A beautiful thing it is. A lot of people lose relationships and lose out on great love opportunities is because they are not connected. They're together and they love each other and they care about each other, but they're disconnected to a point. And the point is that they're not paying attention. They're not paying attention to the signs and the signals of those things that are most important to you. And if you want that person to really, really appreciate you and really find you invaluable and irreplaceable, is to be able to just touch them, man, in ways that just no one else can touch them. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of consideration. It takes a lot of selflessness for you to be able to see beyond yourself and to see what the need might be for the person that you so adore, that you so care about, and you dote upon. So I think that if we focus on that sometimes, matter of fact, all the time, every day, look for something that we can do for our significant other that will make their day. We don't want other people making their day. You don't want your woman going to work and some other John or Bill or Bob satisfying the need that needs to be fed by you. You don't want your man going to work and having to have other women to satisfy his need, whatever that need is. I mean, you guys could have had an argument the night before. He's feeling some kind of way. You didn't even say good morning to him or to her. You know, you attempt to avoid each other because the door is still left open. You have open-ended conversations that don't end well, but you don't close that door. When you leave that gap open, if nobody comes in, the draft comes in, and even the draft can disturb the peace and the space that you're functioning in. So you have to have that conversation. And I know the old people used to say back in the day, they used to tell couples, don't ever go to bed angry. And that seems far-fetched today, but it's really not. It should be widely practiced and understood that there was a reason why they said don't go to bed angry. Because if you go to bed angry, you're going to wake up angry. And if you wake up angry, chances are you're going to go through the day angry. And all it takes is one crook to step up in that place and space that you occupy and do what it is you're supposed to be doing. And if that happens enough, you already know the answer to that. If that happens enough that somebody else has to do your job, it is going to be difficult for you to maintain. Look at it like this. So if you take a dry sponge, it's a sponge. It's flexible. You can ball it up, fold it up, and it's going to pop right back to where it was. But when you wet that sponge and the sponge becomes heavy and soaked with water, it's like life. It's like you being a sponge. Everything hits you and bounces off of you. Everything you absorb, you absorb it all. You take it all in. So all day long, you're dealing with whatever it is that's going on. You're pissed off at work, the people you're working with, your boss, the job, the kids, I mean, whatever it might be. But you are the person who releases the liquid from the sponge to allow the sponge to assume its rightful place. So when you squeeze the sponge, like as if you squeezing your significant other, you release them from all of that toxicity, all of that stuff that has affected them in such a way that it just bogged them down and made them so heavy, so tight, so congested, so clogged and bogged that they just couldn't be what they're supposed to be. So you squeeze the sponge and you let all of the water out. That sponge is so happy because it doesn't have to carry the burden of all of that weight, all of that water around, because it's such a release. Look at it like that. All day long, you absorb, they absorb. So we have to be the release mechanism for our significant others, them for us and us for them. And if we remember to do that on a daily basis, I promise you, our relationships are going to be a much better place. They will be of long tenure. We will have less issues. We'll have less fights and those things to deal with because we are connected, not just in one way, but in every way. We have to read those signs and signals that tell us what our significant other needs so that we can provide them on a daily basis with what their need is. Listen, I hope this conversation is really one worth thinking about, one worth having with your significant other so you guys can realize how important it is to make things happen in your lives and your relationship so that it works out for you the best way possible. I want you to always remember to share, to like, and to subscribe. Feedback is very important because as other subscribers read your feedbacks, they begin to get a general idea of where they are, where they want to be, and where they need to be. And your information can be quite beneficial to them. So don't deprive them of such opportunity. Offer some feedback, some comment, so that we can train up a nation to learn to live and to love together and not look for the easy way out. Thank you.